Hey there, thanks for stopping by. I'm Digital Micro, and you're on the Digital Micro Trading Journal. We day trade for ROI payout, no trade recommendations because this is just a trade journal. And this is the Thursday order flow trading 119.23 news catalyst at 8:30 Eastern Standard. We'll talk about the supply, demand, price action, and order flow in this video. We're closing in on 100 subs. I've got 65, never been in that zip code before. Thanks so much for subscribing and watching and hitting that button. It means a lot to me and motivates me to make more videos, so thank you. Let's get to the charts. Thursday the 19th, here we are deep in Globex before the 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time news catalyst, and we've got another red bar with momentum, and we're touching on the 9 EMA, and that's important because we had 6-day air from the 9 EMA, and now we finally closed that. Upper Bollinger Band again, we had all these consecutive days, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th up here denied, and we closed below. That's one for the record books, at least for this year, 2023. So I've drawn this red line right here. First of all, the dashed line is the overnight pivot, and let's just call that 63.7. And the solid red line matches last week's CPI low. So that's coming in at 42.4. So I've got no mood to catch falling knives. The anchored VWAP for the year is coming in at 30.9, 81 EMA, mid Bollinger. So the idea here is, what's the reaction going to be to this news catalyst today? As far as the control on the order flow, the strength of the hits, we're on the third red down below zero. So that's important to note on this red arrow. Cumulative delta is always a lagging indicator. That's still green and high. The pace, you can see mildly still red. So just to wrap on this 24, bulls still above this middle Bollinger Band, which is slanting up, still down here at 1806. Let's go to the next chart. 120. So these red arrows denote where we were on this super compressed 120 Bollinger Bands. And if you watch these last videos I put out the last 2 days, I had been talking about a warning of this every single time this happens. And look how extended, how many bars of 120 minutes this thing was so compressed tightly. And now we've got the expansion. So this dotted line here below is the T+2 November close, about 1845 and change. That's a price and area of interest. And some next levels here below are again near that CPI low of last week, Thursday, and the overnight pivot above. So that's the price action. I'm measuring 11 candles here with this vertical green column of ripeness, where we are below the middle Bollinger Band, which is coming in about 1880. Time pivot wise, I'm looking for initial balance, especially maybe at the end of the initial balance, first hour RTH, see where we're at, see where the news came in. I'm in no rush to take a position and knife catch here, as I said before. To the hits, you can see here we've been below zero for a while on this. We do have downside, but it's not that deep here. So let's see what the news has. And cumulative delta here, unlike the 24-hour, is red, and it's 3 bars red, and pace nothing to speak of. So there you have on the 120. Let's go to Renko. Okay, year to date, this is still my favorite day trade chart. It's the Renko Keltner, and you can see as I make this video here deep into Europe Globex, we just came off this lower Keltner here. That hasn't happened since we closed. This vertical black line was the close between the RTH, and this is all of Globex. And you can see one thing we've done is stayed below the middle red Keltner. So definition of a downtrend, we're still in it. Let's look at the order flow strength of the hits. Basically, there is no demand. It's fat, juicy supply. And it's been that way since Europe's just extended this down. And cumulative delta, same thing here. Unless there's startling news that would reverse this, no impetus to go and dive in here at all an hour before time pivot on the RTH or even open RTH. If I was going to do any shorting, it would be above the above Keltner, and that comes in right now 1868. Middle Keltner is first resistance, and that's 59. And again, we're at 1849 and lower, and we're below the first blue Keltner. Look at this right here. Delta 364, negative 38, negative 83. One more chart, and then we'll wrap. So the reason I'm throwing up this market profile is I like to measure with these red arrows where we are on single prints, because usually these are the trap traders to stop run, and basically price may someday come back to this. So this might be future resistance, because trap longs really trapped here from about 1894 to 1888. And I remember that level real well because we just couldn't break that for all of this week and part of last week after CPI. So bulls had it their way for a while, and then boom, stop run and just all the way down. Here we are in the Thursday Globex, no single prints, but you can see here these red arrows are possible targets that I've got basically on T+2 close month end for November. And again, this is the CPI low from last Thursday. So I want to look at stop runs and dislocation of who's trapped, who's the trap trader, who's going to inflict the most pain. I want to watch this here upcoming and very carefully, especially the RTH, how these prints work out. So not much more to it than that other than the point of control. And this gold line right here represents, again, 63.7 is the overnight pivot. So you can see we've got a good extension down here, and this is what Europe did. They drove down below this pivot. So if I had to say one area where I'd want to see bulls take it back, it'd be about getting above the overnight pivot versus just tugging it and going back down. There you have it. Be safe. Risk management strategies got to be in play here. And so I want you guys all, if you're watching, be careful out there. Trade them well. Aloha. Take care.